Actually, while you do that, maybe I'll fix my sound because it sounds like shit.
It could be my amp, the settings. It's probably very keyboardy. See, that's why my natural tendency is to keep it simple.
That would work perfectly fine. That would work perfectly fine.
Because the idea is I don't want it to distract from... If you have too much going on underneath, it'll take away from that. But let's try that segment together with you playing the lead just to make sure that it does fit nicely.
Yep. I'll join after this one. Yep. That was it.
So 2. One, 2, and then 3 and 4. Then I go into, and then you come back out of it, right?
Yeah, I do. And that's when I play my rhythm.
Yeah, so then it is a little bit of a layering. That's what, yeah. I think that's how it should go. And then on 7 and 8 we are together.
Yeah.
And then we switch to... Okay, and so on and so forth. And then...
Yeah, I was almost right. You only had this part. Yeah, that's it.
2 notes?
Yeah.
Oh, like that.
It returns back to F.
So that D gets repeated right before the end, like the third and second to last note. Yeah, I knew it was like one thing off. And then it's okay, I got that one, but then it's this riff, because it's the double. Yeah,
so it goes. Shit. So.
Oh, it's just double every single time. See, I was thinking it was like this. Not in that necessary rhythm, it's like along those lines, so it's in a really basic sense. Shit. so lazy, I just wanted to do one. That would be my natural thing.
I'll try to leave a gap there because it's your 16th notes, right? Da-da. So we'll take a gap, and then it just keeps getting. So
It's tough when you're playing it at this kind of pace.
yeah.
I think.
See, the thing is, I wrote the damn thing, and it's like they always say in music, you know, like your internal tempo that you write music in is completely different than an actual. You know, so it's hard to gauge that. So I wrote the original tempo just.
So it almost seems like on the first beat, it's alright. So it's
It's the double down. So I do. So when you return back to
return
it,
to the first
yeah.
one. That's okay. Okay. See, these are all the little minor things that I've been trying to.
It's easier, so it's supposed to be chunked down. So that's why it's two downstrokes and then one upstroke.
Okay. It's so funny. See, I want to go like this. What up?
It's the same thing, yeah, just like that.
What's the triplet?
It is.
Dude, I keep. And then finally, is this last lick?
Shit.
Play the whole thing.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah. So, like when I first started playing, like making that lick for the song, I used to play it differently. I used to use this A up here rather than playing the open A.
Yeah.
But it was easier just because like
Yeah.
I was making so many stretches in this song.
Yeah, but
my
unnecessary.
hand was like unnecessarily fatigued by the end.
Yeah.
So just
It's even time for everything, right? Okay, cool. That's all I need on that song.
So it's for that lick, it's important to get the downstrokes in there to make it sound more chunky. So
That's just simple, right? Then lastly, when we're going from the first chorus back into the verse, I just want to get the exact timing down. So if this is the last bar of it. Where does
so
it end?
it ends like this. How do we wait?
I've been.
So actually, right after the C chord, so then C. Yeah. So then you're when you're doing that C, since your ring finger is like right next to D, your ring finger just hits the D. So. So it gives you the D to return back to a B and D minor.
I'm gonna have to correct that. I've been playing it wrong this whole time, so. Cool.
Yeah, perfect. That was it.
You just gotta internalize it. And then a year later I can be playing it like Song for the Fathers, or I can play with my dick on it. Okay. I think that's all I need on that. Then Cruel World.
You want to go through that?
Yeah, might as well since it's just the two of us.
So when I was playing with my friend the Mole in college, he would just ring out underneath with a D. So what he would do
is it E minor?
D minor. Cruel World is.
Oh, I was talking about. I'm sorry. I was talking about Sad Uncle song, but yes, let's do Cruel World. So yeah.
So
is that what you want?
Yeah, he would ring out that when I get to the we switch to 4/4.
Okay.
So it kind of goes in that. It's basically just playing the chord tones of D minor, G minor, E minor.
What? What's the last thing that you do? Like, I'm almost suggesting that you do like a diminished.
So it's
That's what I would suggest you do. Before you go into the switch.
You could so.
Or maybe not for the whole time, but like. See how I did half?
You could do that.
Some suggestions, but you won't have to change anything. Anyway, so then it switches into the new thing.
It's basically.
You just want me to do that? It's up to you. Because I can learn the thing, especially because I got to record it at slow.
It's all just a D minor run again. You want to play chord lyric? It'd be D minor, G, F.
Okay.
Yep. Two, ready, go. I was thinking about making a bridge for this part, just like a quick, like one measure. So it goes from, it's basically a climbing riff starting on F. So it switches the key from assuming
D minor,
D minor
to F major.
to an F major, yeah. There's just a bunch of accents to one just simple chord. So it starts off, it ends with your F with a sus9. So your sus9 is just that added G. On the 4th string. Index finger 1 down. same exact chord shape. So it's just a flat major. Yeah. So it goes from that, and then it plays a C major with an E bass, which is this. Yeah, so you can play it like that, just these two notes, or you can add in an extra G, so it completes the sequence. Almost, yeah, that was good. So you're playing a B flat major, a sus line, then it's a B flat major, then B flat major 7, and then B flat major 6. So it's just these three notes, or just these two notes technically. Yeah, so just the index finger and your like a power chord. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's the whole thing. Is that it relies a lot on the. I like doing that, and that's like
I know.
Will has that, and the other songs have that. Like,
Yeah, you really like your noisy slides.
I just think it's a good way to transition.
It's cool, man. That's your flavor, dude. I'm not dogging on it.
So
So
there's
there's
that.
like 2 main segments.
That's a vast majority of it, and then the solo section is playing the chorus over and over and over again. So much hiss.
Yeah, it's very fuzzy. It's almost like you have a metal zone distortion pedal.
That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds exactly like a metal zone. That's the perfect description.
Yeah.
Because I have one.
It's like
It
all
sounds like shit.
It is. It's like the worst Boss, you make some good equipment, but that thing is fucking horrible.
So Boss had a fantastic digital delay, and then a fantastic super overdrive, and then a fantastic pitch shifter pedal, and I bought everything, and then I bought the fucking metal zone. It's like they didn't even try. They just said, overdrive,
It is in truest definition a distortion pedal. It just doesn't do anything for your tone. It just distorts it in not a good way.
Yeah, man, like
It's a fuzz box. It's more what it is.
all I had was this clean amp that my grandpa bought me
Yeah.
in college. And, well, not even bought me.
That's what I was
He
rocking
gave it
for a
to
long
me.
time.
It was a 1960s amp, and it had no grounding on it. So
Nice.
occasionally I would shock the fucking shit out of myself plugging it in.
Yeah. Ride the
So-
lightning, baby.
hmm Yeah, literally. And like people would just shock themselves on it, although it sounded great. Just shock the fucking shit out of you. So yeah,
Pedal zone.
Metal Zone, man.
That was the only way for you to get like a dirty channel, and it was disgusting.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yep. And then I bought a tube amp and one overdrive pedal, and that was all I needed. Just kind of making me wonder, like, was this really the right way to go?
Buyer's remorse. I'm a purist, dude. I'm so simple.
The only thing is, I wanted something easier to move around, and this is as easy as it gets. The
It
problem
is. You can put. If you were to ever like have to go anywhere, this is you. You got 2 carry-ons.
Uh-huh.
I have 3 carry-ons at the minimum.
Not every amp sounds the same, so you end up getting this fucking.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd have to bring my own everything. I can bring a head, but then I have to make sure the cabinet's cool. That's a cool thing about my V3 though. You can change the ohmage, the voltage, the plug-in, and the wattage. I was like, this thing is perfect. I don't know why they're not more popular.
There's this high gain amp that they have over at Easy Music Center called the Yamaha High Gain. It's amazing. It's basically, it's a 10 watt amp that sounds like a professional amp.
Nice.
Like, you know, I have the Roland Cube, Micro Cube, and that's 20 watts.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking travesty. That plus the Metal Zone is like, it's just as bad as you can get.
I don't even remember what happened to my Metal Zone. It was so old. It was the first. It came with my guitar, my red guitar, and it was so rusty and like, oh man, it was bad. Like, you know how the rubber on the inputs is just like falling off. Yeah, it was. Anyway, let's try that shit again.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking, as it stands right now, I mean, like, you ultimately have your president. I feel like when you have so much content in a song, it's like you're president of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than like oligarchy, which we'll get into in a little bit. I'll show you some fragmented pieces of mine, and I hope that you'll do the same for me. And then we can play around with those things, and then who knows, maybe you come up with a riff, maybe I come up with a riff. That's kind of what I'm hoping will happen. But so the something like that. Like, I mean, like after like 2 of them as with open chords. Playing the same thing, but that's a huge workload on me for now. So for now, I think just doing the chords until I figure that shit out will be sufficient. So let's try from the top with what we got.
Which song?
Cool World.
Okay.
And then is this a new? There's another section that you're talking about?
Oh, there's just the solo section, which is very easy.
It's the chorus. What's the next tone after this? It's C major with the E major cycle. Bullshit our way through it. So
so I'll start with the slow tempo.
Yeah, whatever. I can probably
starting to get the sweats now.
Bullshit keep up. Oh no.
Get the sweat.
Get some air on this bitch.
Oh no, this is as airy as it really needs to be before I start feeling like I'm cold.
How are you envisioning this starting?
Actually, I was envisioning what's his face.
Rain Dog?
Rain Dog, just going.
And then straight into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Both guitars?
Yeah.
So it's just super tight, super heavy. Okay.
Yeah. It just got this like.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just curious
Exactly that.
because I already immediately start thinking of that kind of stuff. So from the top, then
Yeah.
attack. Two more, right?
Actually, this chord right here. So we're gonna add in the. You're gonna add in more than just the ninth for the first part. So it starts off with just adding the sus9 or suspended tone at 9, and then you're gonna add in this final A, which is gonna be your 7th. So you're adding your 9 and 7, and then you're adding in then there your A again. You're adding your 9th, your 3rd, your major 3rd, and you're adding your 7th. So it ends up coming out like this.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Let's take it from right here.
So just
It seems like there's one more tone point. Got it?
it just remains
Stays there?
It
Really?
stays there. Yeah. So it's this.
It feels to me, my
There's no
natural,
resolution on purpose.
to me, it naturally would want to go. Or something. There's something still not resolved. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm asking. Because in my ears, I already start changing.
Yeah, because C is the 4th in that
Yeah.
major scale, so it wants to resolve itself. And so you can resolve itself back to the F. So you can do but if you just let it ring out and resolve on the B flat, because the B flat is just one note away. And
I
that
actually
one,
want to do that.
yeah, you can actually do when you're playing the chorus, and then you're gonna play these notes to accentuate the D minor. So you're gonna be playing a D, A, and F. So it sounds like this. And then it resolves to F this time. No, it just it stays on that 6th.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
So it actually, every time except for that first time, it resolves to F. For the bottom out of that segment. So it sounds like this.
Okay. See, now that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
So, but it
That's
actually
what I was hearing. That's, yeah.
Yeah, so it resolves to F, but it resolves to an F with a sus 3. So it adds that major 3rd in there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can try and do this.
Yeah, try it. It's fun. exactly like that.
So this is just open. And then it goes.
Yes, sir. That's it.
And then after we do that,
Yep. So the chorus ends with shit. Ends on this A.
okay, where does that come? Where does that belong in the whole
So,
sequence?
It's your shit. Sorry. So, so you're just playing your A7, A6, then A.
Okay, so let me try this. Well, last time.
B flat.
Yeah, okay. X amount of times and then. Section.
Same exact thing.
Do you want that same motif where it's So the first one is like this, and the remaining 3, 2, 3, 4 is what's it called? With the
with an A bass. So it's like playing
A bass. Oh, right there.
You're playing your A, except make your 5th down to the 4th.
This gives it a fat fucking chord if you go. You do that, and I do this. Where the fuck am I? If you do this, top, the low 3 strings. Maybe I'll take out the high. So I can just probably put it down.
Yeah, so you can do that too. I mean, it's essentially the same notes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a fourth.
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
notes are the same thing as this.
Drama at the end.
Yep.
That'd be good. Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's gonna get closer to being done than you would believe it.
And I hope this body pain like you're sick and then you shit your brains out and then you're just fine after that?
Maybe. Not that I can recall, but that sounds
I
like.
get that all the time.
I bet. Let's see. So this is again similar to this riff. So I gotta get that exact fucking shit. Because this to me is a very mid 2000s like Josh Allen style of music. Very, like you were saying, very percussive. So it's very important that we are extremely tight on this kind of shit. The more of the 80s based stuff, we can get away with a lot of shit, but for this, it's so critical to be tight in this kind of shit. So
Yeah, so it starts out with
2 pumps.
almost so
See, that's why I like
shit.
it. 2 pumps and then what? Oh, there's another 2 somewhere in there. Okay, so it's 2 and then 1. So it resets itself. Okay, so I kind of got those segments down. Now, the only thing in question is when and how to play the new stuff. Whatever the new shit you got.
I think I'll hold off on that until I'm still, like I was working on it last night, and the hard part that I'm trying to work on is, you know, I don't even remember what I was doing with that.
You can watch the videos, man, if you really, I don't know how to sift through all of them, but any of the ones that we had, at Symmetric, it's close. It was like, do-do-did, quicker ascension. It's just to connect.
Oh,
There it is. Do-do-did. So as it stands, we're basically still in 2008 mode, but we just have this. So basically three riffs is what we got for this. Until you or I, most likely you, come up with something else.
yeah, because I wanted like it to just be like, you know, you go.
Yeah.
You know, just like I realize they kick yourself in the face, like hardcore shit, but really easy at the same time too.
Yeah.
So that's always been the hardest thing for me, is coming up with a rhythm line that is kick your ass but easy to play. And another thing I like to do is I like to pick everything. I like to do a button rush on rhythm.
I love legato.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be more my. That would be, again, my natural thing. And that's why it's important that we're getting these subtle things, especially for a piece like this where it's so important. Okay.
So the reason why I like to pick through a lot of the heavy rhythm.
Oh, the
is that
attack, bro.
It's the attack, and then the bass drum just fills it in even more.
Yeah.
You know, just like kicking it. I really care a lot about the drummers. They need to be heard.
I feel like that definitely is like this kind of beat.
Can you play drums on that?
A little bit, just to kind of give you the idea. Shit.
I feel like Miami Vice right now.
Trying to find the snare. Oh, there's my stool. So I jumped around.
I need a stool.
It's like the lamest fucking snare I've ever heard.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with this thing? Because this one's like... Anyway. Can I play the riff?
Okay.
However much ever tempo.
Oh, did you unplug me though?
I don't think I did. It's not as loud as my
Okay.
stupid fucking drums.
Ready?
Yeah. So that'd be the thing holding it together. While the shit. So really. Well, that's just like fucking just.
Yeah, it's gonna be footwork, so.
Yeah. Very Lamagati.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Actually, I think I wrote this song when I was listening to Ashes of the Wake. That album. Oh, yeah.
Did I just call you out on that shit?
Huh?
Did I just call you out on that? I think I just called you out. Like, yeah, it's like Lamb of God. You're like, hey, actually, yeah.
I was listening to Ashes of the Wake. Because
I like the one that has "Walk with me in hell." Like that's my favorite.
Oh, that's
album.
Ashes of the Wake.
That's like the.
Oh, that's actually As the Palaces Burn.
They have like all my favorite ones in that one.
I really like Ashes of the Wake though, because like they really, that's what they had. Shit. What song was that?
I'm not really into that style of music, but they do it really well. And as a result, I actually like that band.
Yeah. Because the thing I like about it is that the one thing that's always been missing for me, like I like 80s rock, because the guitar soloists were like my heroes.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, because I think Michael Navallo is the one that kind of interested me brought me into like the rock scene, and he started me off in like the 80s shit. So I was like, 80s, you know. So there's no bottom end.
Yeah. Speaking of which, a couple things. I wouldn't mind writing a song that is so cheesily in that style. Shamelessly do it that way. And then also, we gotta write something in a major key, like exclusively.
Oh, I
in a
actually
major
do.
key.
I do have.
Cause I struggle.
I have a song that's a major rock song.
Anyway.
I think it was. Shit. Shit. Yeah, fucking. So still like kind of like the same kind of broken up rhythm, but like kind of just transitions into.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel a transitionary thing where I'm like, the very like just freestyling right here. The very beginning to me is very pop punk.
Yeah.
And then it switches into like Coheed and Cambria, and then almost like, again, I'm gonna say the post melodic hardcore stuff. Start of the year and Tricey towards the ending there.
Yep.
So that's kind of a cool transition. But yeah, that's something we at this point it's almost we desperately need a major song, and like a good one. But the thing is, I suck at writing in major keys because it's like I feel pigeonholed to 1, 4, and 5. Like that's all I feel like I can write.
That's where it's like you kind of get stuck. You can either play 1, 4, or 5, or you can start out on 2, and then play 4, 5. 2, 4, 5 often works. So like starting off on 2 is okay, because the only thing about that though is sometimes when you start off on 2, people don't know what key you're playing in, so it becomes kind of confusing. And the guys who do that the best though, with one song, they just did it really, really well. Darkness. Because it starts on F, but it's actually E. it's actually that's a good thing though, because once you start to hear other people playing it,
Yeah, yeah.
then it's like, oh, that's what it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
And people do it all the time. Ozzy Osbourne.
No, I'm gonna
They do
shamelessly
all that?
rip. Like, if I do write in major keys, I'm stealing everything.
Yeah, I Steve a lot of things really. It's just you gotta move them around so it doesn't sound like someone else's shit. Yeah. Yeah. I think South Park called it the what is it? They call it the Family Guy method. It's just you get like a bunch of manatee balls
Yeah.
with topics, and then you just shift them around, and then it's a new episode.
Yeah. I like how they bag on each other.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think South Park's one is significantly more legitimate because every episode actually has a point. And each character, you may hate them sometimes, but you kind of like them too sometimes. You know, because they do something good and bad. But Peter, Peter is just an asshole. He's just an asshole and nobody likes him, and he's the worst part of that show. It's like, hey Lois, what's going on? Oh, Peter.
Oh no.
Oh, Peter.
What else we got? We got Angelic.
Yeah, so there's that. There's also my really super depressing song. We'll play a really depressing song. Play a really depressing song. Yeah, let me
It's destroying my fucking couch.
I was a couple cents off.
Couple pennies short of a picnic basket. So a couple cents. Oh, what's up, bird? Get the fuck out of my house.
I love birds.
I don't like one in my house. They shit everywhere. They shit on my fucking curtain.
Really?
Yeah, look, like I was chilling in my office in there, you know, and then this bird comes and shits inside my house on my curtain.
Oh, nice.
See that shit?
Do you have a acoustic guitar?
I do.
So
Would you like it?
yeah. So this song is the most depressing song I have, but it's also one of my favorites.
D minor. What's going on?
E minor. So.
Oh yeah.
It sounds very much like Chrono Cross.
Yeah, that's exactly good.
Yeah. So
I actually want to do a cover of that.
that's a good song. So
It's short.
the very beginning of the intro to Chrono Cross starts with that chord.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's
it
that,
goes
like fucking
this.
suspended
And I
fucking.
was like, I really like that chord because it's all open.
Yeah.
But where they go with it is kind of like, why you wasted the good beginning, you know? Have you ever heard a song that's like, oh my god, this song is fucking rocking, man?
It's called The Ninja by Cacophony, and as soon as the vocals come in, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, there's my
Instant
boner.
boner killer. And that's how a lot of those songs were. So I was like, well, fuck, I would rather make something good out of it. So then it goes back into this. It ends on A minor. Shit. Then it goes.
Oh, very Alice in Chains.
And it ends. And then it kind of does a similar thing as the Angelic song. And then there's a guitar solo after that. So someone just keeps playing the original riff. Then it goes to G.
Oh, keeping everything in position. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then just open A.
like this.
Almost. So it goes.
How's it go? I wasn't really
It's
giving my full attention at the beginning.
It's a pentatriad lick. So it's a 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3.
Oh, okay. So that's, you do a little embellishment at the end.
Yeah, perfect. So the guitar solo for playing over that is pretty simple. I'll start with you.
I'm not gonna do the other embellishment.
Yep. Yep. And then the lyrics is goes to E minor. So that's it, it just ends there. And it goes back to the same. We'll go back to your E minor. Perfect. And the lyrics kind of just go back in there. And so this is kind of like every song. Every song has a motif, and it's just everyone in my family pretty much has one. And this one's from my mom, my dad. Yeah. So it's
It's
as-
fun.
it's as
You remind me
depressing
of
as it
like
gets.
sort of game Chrono Trigger. Each character has a theme.
Yeah.
So whenever you like go, and I always like that. Even about like Final Fantasy series up until a point, like each character had its own theme.
Yeah.
Especially like Final Fantasy 6, which is the one that's like from that game. There's so many memorable themes, and I always like that. Like, so that's pretty cool. Like you kind of already have like concept shit, which is pretty badass. My shit is usually just like I guess mostly random. If I try to force something out, like with any like, oh, I want to write a song for my sister or some shit, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's more of a hindsight thing. Like, yeah, I started writing the song and then it became this. But that's pretty cool, man.
The cool thing too is that you know, when it comes to playing major songs too, the guys who are the kings at playing happy major songs in the minor key is Nickelback. They're surprisingly good at doing that. That's why I like Nickelback so much.
Give me 1 second. Oh, you fucking computer wanted to turn you off. Okay, so we got that shit. Don't you have some crazy shit in standard?
Oh yeah, I do. That's my brother's song.
It was like, I just feel like that's a thrice song.
Yeah, we both have very similar sounding songs for this, which is starts on C major. Then it just goes
Let's
back.
work on that riff.
Okay. So it starts out on open E. So.
Go back. Just like that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, so the ending ends with 2 hits on your F sharp. I'm sorry, on your G.
Again, please. Oh, okay. So you don't come back to the pedal. Okay, kind of something like that.
Yeah, so the song has, I borrowed some shit from the band Cold, because they had this song called Nowhere. Nowhere. Ah. It sounded like. So they had a song like that, but I just thought it's a good song, but it was really boring.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder if I could expand more on that and try to make something more fresh. So it starts out with the same thing. So it's basically playing E minor, a C, and then a B major chord. Yep, it ends on that F sharp.
Conjunction with the other note?
Yeah, because it's a B.
Okay.
It's a B major. Almost. Missing just 2 notes. Miss that A.
There's something that you do there that I gotta analyze later, but.
Yep. Perfect, that's it. So that's the very next part. After, no, there's one more thing in between that. So
Okay.
it rings out, the original lick rings out to, it ends on A. So
oh, the first part.
yeah. So now go to C.
Oh.
And then now go to A minor. A minor. Yeah. And that's on E. And then it goes back to C major.
Something like that.
So it's shit. Sorry. So it's 1, 2, 3. I think your E string might be around. I'll give it to you.
And this thing's probably not too intonated. Yeah. Not at all. Anyway.
So it just kind of does the same thing.
Just sputtering. Like that?
So it goes 1, 2. Yeah, so go. And it starts a riff on your G.
Completely descending or what?
Completely descending.
Exactly like that?
Ends on G. Then plays a D chord, a D major with the sharp bass. Yep. And then it goes back to the same thing. It goes like this. So it kind of goes.
Okay.
So you're just basically pulling that down.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so. Keep going down again. Is it?
No, it's
okay, yeah, so it's just 1 1 1 1. So there's a beat that is a rest.
Yeah. Well, actually, you're always playing, but it's.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a G. Back to C. To play the harmony of the third above it.
I'm so used to playing this style in drop D that it's fucking with me right now.
Yeah. I get the same thing with your stuff. the very ending is. So you're basically playing your D sharp. Yeah.
And then it comes right out of that.
Yep. And then it goes, because you're pulling it up, it's supposed to resolve back to E. It goes to, it starts on E, G, then it goes to C. And then
Nice.
probably would sound good in distortion.
I think a light overdrive with like a medium, something that we don't typically run through. You know what I mean?
I wrote it actually with very minimal overdrive.
Kind of like almost like an indie rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so the solo is actually a
That's
harmony.
fucking tight, dude.
Yeah. The solo is a harmony. It goes. So it goes. Shit. So it kind of just keeps going from there. But most of it's harmonized, and it sounds like wicked good. I don't know if I ever sent it to you.
You have not.
So there's that one, and I wrote that one for my wife, and it's done. The lyrics are done. Like the lyrics are super cheesy, you know.
That's fine.
But it's extremely cheesy. And basically, it's called "Left to Say."
Left say.
Yeah, left.
Is that Oh, left
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah, like, cause there's nothing left to say.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
you
say,
just-
is
you
that
just
like
know-
Spanglish or some shit?
Yeah, because it's like the whole song is like there's nothing left to say because I just know it just feels right. Like I just know this is gonna be it. you know?
Yeah, dog. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And then I wrote a sad one when we were kind of going through some turbulence when she had to go back the first time to Peru, and we were like 3 months apart from each other, and I was kind of brutal. And so I have this song. I'll just mute the guitar, but it just sounds like this. It was written in standard on acoustic, so it's.
You said that. That's one of the things that we have.
And I wanted to spice it up with distortion.
Yeah, that's what we have. It's just a loop. It's just that.
And then the verse is really cool because it's one song where everything is literally exactly the same until you get to the bridge, where it starts off on a Mixolydian style of feel. So it just Lydian feel. So it goes I'll finish off the intro. keeps going through the same thing over and over again. Then it gets to a guitar solo. It starts off into the bridge where it's shit. Goes from there into a solo. You know, kind of very melodic stuff. So that's the problem of everything. I have like 2 major key feel songs, and then the rest of it's all just
Yeah.
And then the last one is the one I wrote for. I don't remember who I wrote this for. But another drop D, fast drop D thing. This is when I started getting into kill switch.
Okay.
It has some kill switchy things in it. Oh, this is my cousin's song, Sebastian. Sound better if everything didn't sound like it was getting shit out of the amp.
Yeah. Definitely tighter would do that song a lot of service.
So there's that, and then that's pretty much the extent of everything that I have.
Your catalog.
I've cataloged. There's 2 more that I haven't. Like one of them is I purely just memorized it in my head, but I actually haven't worked it out on guitar yet.
Okay. That's some fucking Beethoven shit right there, man.
Actually, most of these things I never actually was fumbling around, except for when I first started guitar. The rest of it, I'd just be in class and I'd be like,
wow. Yeah, the thing is, I sometimes do that, but I never remember. I immediately have to go to guitar and record.
Yeah. So for me, I just had to keep playing it over and over and over again in my head. So I would just be like,
oh god. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
So obviously I didn't do very well in school. It's like I was always paying attention to whatever was in here rather than my teacher saying whatever the fuck they had to say.
Right.
But
oh, you should have seen me, man. I keep these composition books like a fucking, you know, like a Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
And I was telling Rainier about them. I have a stack like this big probably, and it's still growing.
Yeah.
I'm insane. I'm fucking insane. If like I think to myself like, if anybody cared, right? If I died and like people would go through all my shit and they find this composition books, they'll be like, this kid was fucking off his marbles. Like, you'll be flipping through the pages and it's like I'm writing the same word on every single page because I'm trying to like kickstart something, you know?
Yeah.
And start with a fresh page, and it's just fucking madness. Like, and like I'll have to-do lists where it says like take a shit, like retarded shit,
yeah.
And it's on my to-do list.
I have
composition books because I'm like, I'll write important phone numbers and ideas in these composition books, and then I have to go back and like, well, where did I fucking write that down, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I left a lot of that back in Kauai because I don't want to regress, you know.
Yeah.
I want to try and keep moving forward.
I had written a short story that I always thought would be a cool movie to film, where it was called Retroactive, which the movie starts out with the person narrating kind of the movie, and there's just this bullet floating in rain and then it starts to move backwards, and you just see it enter someone's skull, and it just kind of, and it just comes out and goes back into the bullet, and then it just keeps going back in these scenes where it shows like about 30 seconds of this, and then it goes from the beginning of the movie to the storyline, and then
it goes back to that initial scene,
and then it just keeps going back until he gets back. Like you can see like something's going on. You don't see the character's face. All you see is this action going on until he gets around this corner, and that's when the next part kind of zooms in, and it is a, you know, they have a big shootout, and the whole principle was.
So essentially, the ending of the movie would be the middle of the movie.
The ending of the movie is actually the last portion of the movie. It's the last scene. And so
that first initial clip.
So
yeah, okay,
it rewinds
that's what I mean.
all the way
that's
in slow motion, and then it goes.
Similar to like Memento in a way.
Similar to Memento, but easier to understand because you're kind of getting a better idea of it.
Yeah,
and the principle of it, like the whole storyline is, the guy starts talking about, you know, you see the gun, right? And you see the bullet, and the bullet's going through the skull, and so he kind of misdirects the audience by saying, you know, I never thought I'd actually have to tell someone.
So it's similar to Fight Club too, in a way.
I thought I had to tell someone the day that I killed myself, right? And then the whole thing goes through, and it turns out that he didn't actually kill himself. He goes through this beginning thing before he gets on, like his family killed him, whatever. It starts out with he went to buy some roses from this like Russian guy's little rose shop, and then he ends up saving the guy, not knowing that this guy is a thief.
Yeah,
and he steals his fucking identity. And then this guy goes down spiraling in the shit because everybody thinks he's the Russian guy, right? And then at the very end, he finds out where this guy lives, and he runs through into the guy's garden and shoots them all up, and then he kills himself, which is actually the other guy, right? So I always thought that'd be a pretty cool principle, but I never actually like screenplayed it out. It was just a simple 10-page short story.
Dude, you see, this is the kind of shit that's wrapped up in my mind too. It's like I have these kinds of ideas too.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, how? I could sit there and screenwrite, but I don't have. The closest thing that I think that I could do is like a music video along those lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same kind of concept for a 5-minute song or whatever, and just kind of have it in visual representation rather than an elaborate dramatic plot with voice and all that stuff. But yeah, dude, that'd be rad.
I just think it would be a really cool story for people to watch and be like, holy shit, dude, my mind is blown at the end of the movie, man. Like,
I like movies like that. Even Butterfly Effect did that to me. It's like, whoa, man. Some other things. The shitty song Baptisms of Fire.
Yeah.
We're going. And then it goes into this. I can't remember what it is, but it's either a Jason Becker song or a Kakafi song. There's this ascending lick that's like I'll pull it up, but I kind of want that before we be going to like the verse. It's definitely, it's almost like in a major, it's a major, I think.
So it'll be a major?
It's G major probably, an arpeggio of some sort. I'll find it. It's somewhere. It's in one of those.
You want a major sound?
Maybe.
Or doesn't sound like that.
Or that. But right before and then. I think that would kind of add some drama to it.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that song as I keep expressing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got the Don't Know How I Got Here song, which I feel like you already kind of know how that goes.
Yeah, that's
And again, like you'll usually from the beginning, I know if this is gonna be a short pop-oriented song or not, and that's an example of one that is. And it goes. It's not necessarily reflected of the conversation we had when we're falling into obscurity or whatever, but it goes along those lines where I feel like I gotta write some songs that are very user-friendly. You know what I mean? So this is that intention.
It's like what Gaylord told me was, if you're gonna make an album, right? So the one song for them that was not that didn't make any sense in the album was Hurricane, but that one album that it was on.
Yeah.
And then they actually had some like other ones where like they don't really fit in, but it was just like we want to play something cool that we feel is cool. So that's where they have Velzy Land, and then they have Black Sand.
Yeah, Black Sand. I was like,
you know, it's just like those are the songs that were for them,
Yeah.
and everything else is like, oh baby, your vagina smells like roses.
Yeah.
You know, those were for the people, right?
Yeah.
And so if you want to have songs
Success, essentially.
that you consider to be B's, like it's like a B track where you kind of didn't really want people, like this was like you started out with this and you didn't really want people to hear it.
Yeah.
You can place that in there.
Yeah, but it's
One or
like
two.
deep track.
And then you have one or two again songs for yourself, and then songs for everyone else. So, but the minimum you must have 0 to 2, but no more of just. If you feel like you ran out of content and you had to just throw.
Oh, filler. Yeah,
filler?
you cannot have more than 2 filler songs. Then you start having Iron Maiden songs.
Well, then actually that's where they had like People Stank and
What's up, bro?
the downfall of all these other bands. Who's that?
Do you want to come check the stuff out in here too? Yes. Yeah. It's like exterminator doing their rats. Yeah, no, I agree. The filler shit. That's why I definitely don't want any weak songs. That's why I think Baptism of Fire might finally be
I
cataloged.
always do what Five Finger Death Punch did. They just released a B album, and like it actually really was a B album. I bought it on Amazon, and it was fucking terrible. It was terrible. So I mean, like it was so bad. I don't even know why they even like released it. They should have never done it. But yeah, there's. I forgot one last song.
Oh yeah, so this is what I was going to show you real fast. Which is Apartment 301. And this is one that I definitely want. I was watching this Japanese guitarist, can't remember, Takayoshi? I can't remember his name, but he's got like this crazy Stratocaster knockoff. And he was playing like, I don't know, I was just, wow. This is a middle pickup, single coil, overdrive song. I kind of stole the riff a little bit off of Roddy Freeman's Dragon Mistress, which is...
Dragon Mistress.
That's Dragon Mistress, anyway. So it's just based around that E minor to C, same upper melody, 2 and 3. And then I still don't know exactly how I want to segment out of this, but it's a... Something like that. In the recording, I have it.
I have it on my CD. I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, and I was listening to it back when it was on Koi, and I was like, this song's got some potential. I just got to figure it out. But it's got some
very similar things to the song that I wrote for my brother, and it goes.
I can get. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that specific lick right there. That doesn't necessarily have to be that, but it's just kind of naturally what I was doing. Because I don't know if it's going to impede with the singing. And then this is where I shamelessly ripped you off. Without really knowing it. And I can take that out too because it's just way too similar to what you got. But those components, and then there's like the breakdown, which is super heavy. Which is again totally the Dragon Mistress. riff. I don't give a shit.
I think I remember this part.
Yeah, anyway. So it's kind of the only really the pieces I have in that, and it's not really set in any order. And then I'm trying to figure out how I segued out of this. There it is. So it's A. That's upper part of the C5. And then yeah, so it's something like that.
I remember that. It's on the CD.
And that's where the big explosion
Yeah.
comes.
Yep.
You know, lights.
I remember
shit. Yeah. That's all I really got for that song. So that's definitely fragmented. And then I got some other just random shit. That sounds like a Dragon Ball Z song. So this is oddly enough in the same key. And then you can just segue into it. Now I just get that Dragon Ball Z song stuck in my head. But that's a really generic, really generic. And like I have tons. Oh, this is something I got too. Whoops. That's all I got. It's an A minor
Yeah.
to a inverted D minor. D minor 7, so still a D minor. Then touching on G, C, F. So the
Yeah.
4, 1, 5 of the relative major. To back to C, C major, so the relative major. Back to F.
E major. Yeah. Which gives you that harmonic minor feel.
Yeah. And so that's kind of, this is because a lot of my most chord progressions are just 4-chord progressions, so I'm trying to do something that is moving along rather than staying so static and predictable. So this is, I mean, as it stands right now, it could even just stand as just a quick 1-minute interlude instrumental thing.
Yeah.
Or something else, I don't know. But this is essentially, again, just something new that I kind of had, and I really like how the chords, it's almost got like a gypsy feel to it a little bit.
Yeah. You're actually reminding me of all these other songs that I have that I never played.
And there's different ways you can go about the chorus too. You don't always have to follow into that. I'm kind of. If it ever does become a song where there's singing involved, like all those chords are movable. Like they don't have to be exactly where they are. So it all depends. So that's something else I kind of got. As of right now, it's all that. That's all it is. Just.
That song reminds me of this other one that I wrote for my mom too. It's really depressing. Yeah, they're all depressing. Just.
It reminded me of Spinal Tap, where it's like this is a D minor, the saddest key of all. Nice.
Spacey has this guy like
yeah.
I don't know how I can describe it, but you kind of get the general idea, right?
We've got a lot of breathing room too to digest the lyrics. Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking badass, dude.
Yeah. It's really heavy, and then it goes into more like a clean sound after that. And then it always returns back to this like really dark, heavy, just. And then it has a solo section where it's not really a solo. It's the only song I didn't want to have one. I just wanted to have a melodic thing where it goes, you know, and it goes. And then it kind of just runs with that motif until you get to the very end of the song. And then it just ends from there.
So with this huge, like, expanse of shit that we have,
so many.
We just so that it's not. It's similar to when I send people emails. Like I can send them everything I have, and then it's like, you know. But as far as putting them in an order to where we kind of have like an organized inbox, you know what I mean? Rather than looking at the whole fucking thing, let's just focus on one at a time, you know. We have Overdriven and Megadeth, which are near fruition. Megadeth is essentially with that. If we didn't make that little change with the new riff,
Yeah, we'd be done.
it'd be set in stone.
Yeah.
So still kind of jamming with that. Overdriven, I've been playing it around this whole time, and we got some new pieces to that. Changes, at least. The heavy metal disco song is a fragmented song. So we can work on it with just its fragmented riffs. So at least Rainier and whatnot can...
I want to try playing on your guitar.
Be my guest.
Amp sounds bueno. I used to have the same one.
Through.
His name's Earl?
No. My extended guy. So I guess the newest one, Cool, we'll start working on that.
Yeah.
I think I even have that on the new set list.
Sounds really good.
Not bad, huh?
For being a Squire.
It's the pickups.
Oh yeah.
Seymour Duncans.
Yeah.
Well, generic Seymour Duncans. Yeah, this replaced my white Ibanez as my practice guitar. That's why Ivan has my white Ibanez.
You know, so I have two guitars that I want Cedric to fix. I have a guitar like this, but dual cutout on both sides. Haven't used it in 10 years. I probably should get it fixed and replaced so I can have two guitars to practice with. The problem that I have with it...
Out.
Huh?
Yeah, this one I just leave out. And just...
Yeah.
Doomsday. Hit the nuclear button. Yeah, I heard them in the walls already last night.
Oh shit.
They've invaded. Got enough space.
If I bait him, I know I will kill him. But if he die in the wall,
Stinks, Arrow.
really stink. Really, really stink.
Oh, and then the very last thing I can think of, I tapped out on songs I remember I
Come on.
Oh, we got one. Get the sticky trap.
Yeah. Why you never catch one? It's really small.
No. Got some rats. Rats irritate. Yeah, man. And then I guess the next nearest step would be for another session like today, to where we just record you to a quick track at concerto speed.
that I can do. I might have a couple more Tuesdays. I hate seeing dead owls. It hits me in the soul, man.
You and Josh both. I don't give a fuck.
It's like, I don't kill roaches. Well, actually, after my whole Vicodin thing, that's when I put up, I don't kill things anymore. I just don't.
You had a trip. You had a religious trip.
So, I'll explain. In the movie Lucy, they actually go into the thing where, like, she does those drugs and then she starts thinking about, like, outer space and all this other crazy shit, right? And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a point in time where, in the Vicodin thing, where I just all of a sudden started imagining, like, I felt like I was outside of the planet.
Yeah.